doing so under the premise of political asylum. In December of 2016, Amos Yee got on a plane and headed to Chicago's O'Hare Airport.
Chicago? Hey, big fella. Yo, I don't know how you looked through the archive and said, yo, what city in America? Chicago. That's where I'm going. Just YouTubers in prison right now. We got to watch this, bro. Now, me personally, I'm free. Okay? But we're about to see who is in jail. All right? What did y'all do?
In YouTube's nearly 20-year history, we've seen many content creators get in trouble with the law. Generally speaking, your average YouTube law
what? Nah, EDP not in jail, so obviously he's not on this list.
breaker
I'm trying to
comes in
think
the
of who
form
it
of
might
a
be.
prank channel taking things too far, or perhaps an influencer spending the night in jail over some disorderly conduct. However, some cases are far more serious, with content creators not only getting arrested and jailed, but receiving
that's Chan something. Chris Chan, I think, right?
criminal convictions and receiving prison sentences. Sentences that are currently being
I know about Fishburne's daughter. I heard about that. You know what I'm saying? Have I seen the video? I have not. You know what I'm saying? But I heard.
served as of the date of me recording this video. From a once beloved YouTube heartthrob caught with illegal child images, to a piano teacher posting illegal breastfeeding videos, to an anime reviewer serving
What is an illegal breastfeeding video? What is that?
life behind bars, these are the imprisoned YouTubers. Let's get into it. Today's video is sponsored by Keep.
If anybody makes any jokes about this sponsorship right here, you're going to the gulag to never be seen again.
.com/wavy.com.
Austin Jones. Never heard of him. Let's see.
It's not all too uncommon these days for an aspiring music artist to get their start on YouTube, the platform allowing direct access to a potential audience of hundreds of millions if one is talented enough to stand out. A singer known as Austin Jones was one of the first to unlock YouTube's potential in this regard. However, what we find is that one of YouTube's earliest musical successes turns out to be one of its most disturbed. This is the story of Austin Jones.
All right, Mr.
Joining
Knight.
the site back in 2007, Chicago-based singer, songwriter,
dreads
and
are fading.
comedian
Nah,
Austin
my
Jones
dreads
was
are
once a
healthy,
force
man.
to be reckoned with on YouTube. Austin got his start on the site by
Justin
performing
Bieber?
covers of popular songs of the era, including music from Panic at the Disco, 21 Pilots, and Justin Bieber, to name a few artists.
In my mind's imagination, I hope with the joke as long as I'm talking about the basement. This is not rap, this is not hip hop, just another attempt to make
The shaggy-haired blonde crooner would eventually branch out from covers and created his own original songs and acapellas, some of which actually became minor commercial successes. And when I say minor, I really mean minuscule, like the guy might have sold a couple of singles on iTunes or something. In 2010, Austin released his debut album, Out of Character, and associated music videos further helped establish this sort of scene kid heartthrob persona that Jones was clearly after. The target audience for this sort of music and content style is pretty self-evident. Austin's fan base was primarily composed of young women, some coming for the music, others seeing him as this sort of heartthrob figure akin to something like a Family Dollar version of Justin Bieber. But hey,
I
don't
told
hate the
y'all.
player, hate the game. In the early 2010s, this style was poppin', and Austin Jones was doing well on YouTube adopting it. However, what we soon find is that Austin Jones's ease of access to an audience of underage fans
What is it with y'all with underage girls, bruh? Listen, grown women look amazing. What are y'all doing? Jesus.
proves to be quite problematic in a variety of ways. In the spring of 2015, a horde of damning evidence emerged implicating Austin as a sexual predator of underage girls, with claims coming up to the surface alleging the man of being a degenerate sex pest who would serially slide into the DMs of minors. Around this time, a bizarre video would surface which appeared to show Austin Jones showcasing to girls how they could twerk.
Okay, first, sick being a predator sliding in girls' DMs that are underage. Sick man. Even more sick work is saying, hey girl, you know what I'm saying? Can I get a twerking vid from you? and can you make it look like this is insanity. All right, this is something I have never heard of.
Hey cutie, so this is like the first basic twerk move. So this is what you do. You stand with your legs apart.
He pulled his pants up. He pulled his pants up. He did it for the 99s and 2000s. He's done. Yo, get this man off my screen. Now, I'm going to finish the story, but get him off my screen.
You bend your legs, and then you arch your back, and you unarch it. You do it faster, so it's like this.
Hey, that man is in jail now, putting this to great use. Facts.
Other leaked DMs appear to show Austin Jones requesting one girl to delete a tweet where the alleged minor publicly revealed Austin was requesting twerk videos. Here's some of the other leaked messages. So you like my song Toothpick Booty? Yeah. You should make a video of you booty popping to it. It'll be so awesome. Haha, maybe. Why maybe? That should be a definitely. Let me be honest real quick. I was actually having a really down night, so I asked fans to message me to maybe cheer me up. And out of all the fans, I decided to talk to you.
This is
and
sick.
now these
This is
videos
sick.
are actually cheering me up and making me happy. Can you please make more? How about after each one?
Bro, please go meet people in real life chat. I'm telling you, if you got a crush online, all beautiful. Y'all will come across each other one day, and I pray the Doonies get demolished like they did in your brain, okay? But until then, okay, please don't be fishing like this man Austin, all right? Oh my gosh.
One, I'll make a video of me talking and telling you what I liked about it. Look, you're really nice and everything, and I love you a lot, but no, I don't want to, and I'm just not comfortable, and it's late and cold, and I still have homework. And I'm truly sorry, but I just can't. Great, now I'm in an even worse mood. Other unconfirmed leaked
is called
screenshots
emotional
appear to
manipulation
show
right
Jones
here.
giving very specific
Brooke, what's good?
instructions regarding alleged twerk videos. That was really good. For the next one, do it with your legs apart, but while you're stretching down, move your hips. Additional leaked messages. If you made a video of you booty shaking to Toothpick Booty, I think I'd die of laughter, haha. I've legit been singing that song all week, haha. You should do it, it'd be fun. So as you can see, you've got these screenshots allegedly showing Austin Jones requesting, favors from minors. The concerning allegations surrounding Austin Jones would begin to circulate around Twitter, and the situation would become something of a viral news event when YouTubers publish videos covering the allegations.
He had told me that in the past, like a couple years ago, if not a year ago, a year or two ago, whatever, that he asked for girls to twerk for him in videos, to send them videos of them twerking for him.
Why are these people doing this? These are people that have all these people looking up to them, and they're taking advantage of their fans.
Exactly.
And honestly, I think that it gives our music scene a very bad reputation.
In the wake of the accusations, Austin Jones would publish a video of his own called Setting the Record Straight, where he attempts to trivialize his actions, claiming that the twerk requests were simply just for fun and that no sexual motivation prompted the solicitation of the aforementioned content. Additionally, the 22-year-old attempts to justify his alleged actions by citing loneliness and self-confidence issues.
So that you would understand.
You couldn't ask no grown women, though? Listen, first of all, oh my goodness. So, bro,
Why I was that desperate. Why I was even asking for those things. It was that depression piling up into me searching for attention. I would read every little comment, every little person telling me to kill myself, every person
Oh, I'm done. Listen, chat. What is he talking about? Anybody? Oh my God. Oh my God. There's no way, bro.
telling me that life wasn't worth living for me anymore. That entire ride home, I read those comments and I began researching.
So you read a comment that told you to head back to the lobby, and you said, you know what would fix this? Let me think. Little girl butts. That's what you thought? He is done.
Different suicide methods.
Despite the disturbing allegations the man was facing, Austin wasn't subjected to any immediate law enforcement investigation. He would avoid incursion from authorities for the next 2 years. However, thanks to the persistence of the alleged victims and a variety of online activism campaigns against Jones, eventually a criminal inquiry was
This says, everyone fangirls because of Austin Jones. Should I be flattered because he asked me for news? Kinda done with. Okay, I thought I said something else. I was about to cook that person. Austin Jones asked me to make him another twerk video about IDK how to twerk. The singer Austin Jones once asked me for a video. One time 2 years ago, Austin Jones asked me for
online activism campaigns against Jones, eventually a criminal and a variety of online activism campaigns.
This says the fact Austin Jones was contacting 13-year-olds for videos of shaking their butts is absolutely disgusting and can't be tolerated. Austin, buddy, 13-year-old? Oh my, what is...
Against Jones, eventually a criminal inquiry was opened. On June 9th of 2017, just over 2 years after the allegations went viral, a U.S. magistrate judge would sign and issue a search warrant for Jones's home in Bloomingdale, Illinois. 3 days later, on June 11th, Homeland Security investigators raided the YouTube star's residence. During the search, authorities discovered illicit child content on the man's devices. He was then arrested and hit with 2 CP-related charges. What followed were a series of court proceedings that revealed the true horrific extent of the abuse committed by Austin Jones. One such discovery was that in messages Austin had exchanged with a minor, he would request the underage fan to
14? Oh my, I'm about to listen. I might end it all right here. When I mean end it all, I mean cut the video off, Susan. I was not talking about anything else. I would never do that on this platform. But if I hear another, oh my God.
To announce their age while the individual
Oh, big fella.
The minor, he would request the underage fan to announce
It says, wait, you're 14? Yeah, I'm a youngster. Do you realize how lucky you... Yo, son. Yo. Listen, I might not belong on this earth. I know yesterday we made a video and I said I would never go to outer space. It was Corey Kenshin's Dead Space video. I know I said that, but I might need to go outer space. Because I'd rather deal with them type of aliens than these type of creatures, okay? I can't do it.
Their age while the individual performed suggestive acts for him. In court
that works too. I went ahead and put my Nike Pros back on so that it'd be... I'm about to lose it. I'll just have to... Exactly. Oh my gosh. Listen. There comes a time in your life where you lose faith in humanity, and this Austin Jones, you're done. User's Facebook chat function. Send him a video. Responds to. In the next one, you should have to prove you're my biggest.
Transcripts, Austin describes a conversation between him and a 14-year-old girl as a, quote, audition, where she would have to perform suggestive dances and acts for his approval. The man apparently acting as a sort of sadistic director, guiding the minor to perform in a way which he saw fit to appease his sick fantasies. Now you need an intro to the video. At the beginning, get super close and say these lines.
Hold up, hold up. Bro, I have to do this. How old is Austin Jones? So he was born in 92. So in 2011, he was 19.
Lines. Hey Austin, it's name, and this butt is age, years old, and then make it clap for 30 seconds. Got it? After a series of trials, Jones would eventually be found guilty on one count of receiving CP, and on February 1st of 2017, Austin Jones was sentenced to serve 10 years in prison, with his earliest possible release being in 2027. In the wake of his sentencing, the man's YouTube channel has been deleted and the name Austin Jones has been entered into the ever-growing catalog of YouTubers busted for CP.
Boy.
His reputation likely permanently destroyed thanks to his own abusive activities.
Mr. Anime, yo, listen, it's anime community, yo, look, let's not get too deep into that, okay? Me personally, I like anime, right? But I like, oh my God, bro, I like the stories they tell, you know what I'm saying? I like the relatability, the conversation people can have because of them. But there are some people in that community because they're cartoons. Y'all are done. And I guarantee. Let's just let it play.
Mr. Anime is a name known far and wide
Unseasoned
online.
EDB.
Essentially serving as the godfather of anime reviews on YouTube, this young man was once one of the most prolific creators in the early YouTube landscape. However, beneath the affable persona showcased in videos was a monster capable of committing some of the most heinous crimes imaginable. This is the story of Mr. Anime.
Shaky, shaky. Oh, hey, oh yeah, look at that. Oh, oh. Oh, there it is. There it is. Are you fucking kidding me? You're gonna eat this.
Trey Sessler was born August 3rd of 1989 in Waller, Texas.
Listen, KJ, listen. There are a lot of good things about anime. But what I have learned, I have paid attention. I seen the news about old buddy that was doing things in the YouTube community. We're not going to talk about that, though, because I don't know him. I just know what I heard. It's sick work, okay? Sick work. I don't know why y'all don't like grown women. They got the experience. What are y'all doing?
Trey has been described as a loner
fighting
who
the
had
wrong
a
battle,
hard
man.
time holding down a job, which is what ultimately led him to starting his
said he would
YouTube
do-
channel. Launching the Mr. Anime channel in the early days of the site, Trey was a YouTube pioneer. When he created his channel in 2006, he was one of the first on the platform to review anime and discuss anime news on a regular basis. His consistent upload schedule and critiques making him somewhat of an early internet tastemaker when it came to both gaming and anime.
Oh, he was ahead of his time with that
Trey
editing,
was
though.
also known for his humorously blunt review scale that he used to review media in his videos, with 1 being absolute shit and 10 being rarely given to superb shows. Trey's matter-of-fact and often aggressive style fit well within this AVGN-inspired era of YouTube, and much like other media reviewers of the time, Mr. Anime was no stranger to creating
Devin said holla because they can't get grown women, so they manipulate longer. Bro, it's terrible. It's terrible.
skit videos. Trey created various sketches which almost exclusively consisted of scenes portraying him as a sort of rogue vigilante. The videos containing a fair amount of simulated violence, gore, and bloodshed, featuring guns as props. Thanks to his reviews and sketches, Mr. Anime found great success on YouTube, publishing over 300 videos and getting 5 million views in the process. A number pretty impressive for like 2010-2011 YouTube. However, as with most stories discussed on this channel, eventually things take a turn for the worse. In late 2011, Trey would begin posting disturbing videos to his channel, which started to indicate—
Bro, even, look, Toa, even if they don't want the big Donkahonga balloons, bruh, there's grown people with small ones. Just get you somebody grown, bruh, of age. What is wrong with y'all?
that he was experiencing both physical and mental health struggles in his personal life. On December 27, 2011, Trey uploaded a video titled "Very Bad News, Please Watch." In the video, he explained that he had been to the hospital and was diagnosed with pneumothorax, a condition that was causing air to leak out of his lungs. According to Trey, this medical issue caused near constant discomfort, occasional shortness of breath, and many sleepless nights.
But I've had a little bit of shortness of breath lately and a little bit of back pain and stuff. And I haven't been sleeping too well. My eyes are a little swollen. That's why I'm wearing these sunshades. And it seems like I've got the diagnosis of pneumothorax. Basically, I'm leaking air from my lungs, and my lungs are running the possibility of collapsing. So I'm going to be out of action for a little bit.
The video portrayed a clearly struggling individual, and fans of Mr. Anime would take to the comment sections showing their support for the guy. Many, after seeing this pneumothorax thing, encouraged Trey to just take a break from YouTube and get some rest. And in a follow-up video that would be posted by Trey, it appeared this was advice
Yeah, I'm
that
trying to
he
figure
ended
out
up
where this is
taking.
going to.
That follow-up video being the rather ominously titled "Mr. Anime is Planning Something." Despite the uncanny title of this update video, in it, Trey seemed in good spirits and would announce to viewers that he planned to take a 3-week sabbatical from his duties as a content creator.
I'm going to reward myself with probably a 2 or 3 week break coming up here from YouTube videos, anime reviews in particular. I might do some blog stuff. I want to thank you guys a lot for sticking with me and watching the channel. I got more subscribers than ever. I have more views than ever, and everything is going really good.
Mr. Anime would step away from YouTube for about a week or so, but as promised, he would eventually return. And after returning, it appeared as if rest was exactly what the doctor ordered. Not only did Trey seem in good spirits, he announced that he had landed a full-time job in the film industry, citing that the future was bright and that he had opened a new chapter in his life.
I found a full-time job in a department that I'm interested in, which is film, and I'm still going to be doing videos. So keep supporting Mr. Anime. I'll still be doing anime reviews, but probably not as many because this
Where's
job
this
will be
going?
full-time. But thanks to all of y'all, I've been able to be recognized by some people, and I'm going to be doing some good stuff.
Unfortunately, though,
Okay, you're in jail, so whatever the good stuff you had planned to do probably...
the optimism showcased in this video was nothing but a feint, as this new chapter embarked upon by Trey Sessler was darker than anyone could have ever imagined. Unbeknownst to fans at the time, that update video would be the last piece of content ever published to the Mr. Anime YouTube channel, essentially serving as a farewell. After publishing this update video, Trey Sessler would go on to commit one of the most heinous crimes imaginable. On March 20th of 2012, Trey Sessler's parents and his brother were found murdered in the Sessler residence, all shot to death by a gunman. That individual
It
being
was
none
him.
other than Trey himself.
Okay, now I'm not going to throw this on anybody that is a fan of this character, but I'm willing to bet, okay, that judging by like the little videos he made of him running with the gun and you being the villain and all of that great stuff, if we were to pull up Dragon Ball Z, okay, and ask him who was his favorite character, I'm pretty sure it's Vegeta. It's got to be. This is only a Vegeta fan type of thing right here.
According to reports, after a night of binge drinking, Trey systematically murdered his entire family.
Systematically?
Starting with his mother, he lured the woman into her garage and shot her
How do you...
point blank with a .22 caliber rifle. Trey then made his way through the Sessler home, killing his father and brother shortly after with a 9mm handgun. After slaughtering his family, Trey then wrote disturbing messages all over the walls and doors of the home. The assorted messages read, "I love my family. Why did I do this? I love my mom, dad, and brother. I will never forgive myself. I don't know why I did this. God, please help me." Before leaving the Sessler residence, Trey shot his already dead mother an additional 2 times. Then he got in a vehicle. The next order of business
So my man blicked down his whole family, wrote on the wall, "I love y'all," and on the way out, blicked them a couple more times. Yo, what is wrong with them?
was to travel to nearby
average Vegeta
Waller
fan
High
right
School
here.
and commit a mass shooting equipped with multiple firearms and over 100 rounds of ammunition. After arriving at the school, Trey waited in the parking lot for a moment, but apparently had second thoughts and made his way to a nearby friend's house. Police would eventually receive concerned calls from family friends of the Sesslers, prompting them to investigate the Sessler home. Authorities soon arrived at the residence and discovered the grisly scene. After the horrific findings, they immediately began searching for Trey, and it was at his friend's house where the Waller police caught up to the man. Mr. Anime would then be arrested for capital murder. After Trey's arrest, he was interrogated by detectives. He would coldly admit to the murder of his entire family and explained his plan in detail to police.
His plan.
According to Trey, he wanted to kill his family because he didn't want them to be ashamed after he executed his so-called master plan. That plan was to shoot up his local high
Yo, listen, I don't have like, look, if you're out there and you're like, yo, Holla, I know you believe in me. Whoever, family, friend, you know what I'm saying, HollaSquad member, whoever you are. If you're like, yo, I really don't want Holla to judge me for what I'm about to do. Now, I'm not telling you to do whatever you're about to do because you shouldn't do that, okay? But what I am telling you is if you think I'm going to be disappointed, I am, for sure. But do I want to go? And will I be disappointed enough where I'm like, I wish I was actually back in the lobby instead of in game when this happened? No. Please leave me out of it. Okay? That's all I'm saying.
High school and kill over 70 students. He had hoped to become the deadliest mass shooter in history.
They were the first immediate
Yo, out of all the hopes and dreams you can have, this was it.
in my sight. And if I was going to go out and do anything, they would have to go. And I'm like, there's my opportunity. Go ahead, go get it. Right after I had killed the family, it was on my mind to do that.
Sessler had other things on his mind. A Columbine-style shooting at Waller High School.
Further investigation from authorities would reveal that Trey had become obsessed with the Columbine shooters and
Crazy.
school shooters in general. It's also been reported that authorities would later search Trey's computer and found that the man had ranked several school shootings, logging his personal opinions on which ones he thought were the best and the worst. On Thursday, August 2nd of 2012, Trey Sessler would be sentenced to life in prison after pleading guilty to all charges. Trey himself even reportedly urged the judge to revoke his right to parole because he feared he would be a threat to himself and others. Mr. Sessler, now 33 years old, resides at the Terrell Prison Facility in Texas and will remain in prison for the rest of his life.
Okay. Almost. Oh, I heard of him. What the? Yo, what? Yo, okay, listen. The reason I know about who this is, bruh, I watch Destiny, all right? You know what I'm saying? Listen, lots of debates. I like to hear both sides of perspectives. I hate, like, the content where it's, like, one perspective and everybody's just like, yeah. And I also like intelligent debates, so I don't like fresh and fit and stuff like that because, like, yo, y'all are arguing against people who never even really thought of these arguments, all right? Get some intellectual powerhouses in there, okay? And have a good conversation. That's how I feel, right? But he had a conversation with this guy. I didn't even notice how he looked. But he was arguing for the expulsion of age. You know what I'm saying? Yo, we'll probably figure that out here. Because if he did something, then boy, he's done.
Amos Yee was a young YouTuber that rose to fame in the early 2010s. Known for his outspoken commentary videos denouncing religion and the Singaporean government, this pseudo
Who that? I'm not even going to say it.
activist found himself in trouble with Singaporean law enforcement on many occasions thanks to his videos. And after moving to the United States, he would find himself in prison. This is the story of Amos Yee. Amos Yee Pang Sang, born October 31st, 1998, was a Singaporean YouTuber, blogger, and child actor. Creating his first YouTube channel at 8 years old, the kid was inspired by many of the prominent sketch video creators on YouTube at the time, such as Niga Yiga and Smosh.
The who?
Prominent sketch video creators on YouTube at the time, such as Niga Yiga.
Yo, ain't no way you dropped this video in Black History Month. Ain't no way, yo. Boy, that's crazy.
And Smosh. In March of 2011, at the age of 13, Amos would upload a popular sketch that was written, directed, and acted all by himself.
Jen, my best friend, she has cancer. Cancer? Seriously? Cancer? Yes, it seems like she has eaten too much McDonald's, and every time she puts like 5 packets of salt onto her fries, she always buys a double McSpicy with extra soy sauce. It seems that now she has stomach cancer, and a huge
This at 8 years
stomach
old?
cancer is invading her small intestine. How discomforting. And we should care why? We have to help her, guys. I have found out that stem cell research can cure stomach cancer instantly.
This comedic satire piece actually went on to win a prestigious award in Singapore and made Amos Yee popular in his own country on YouTube. As Amos grew
Soy
older and the
sauce.
landscape of YouTube changed, his content would eventually shift from sketch comedy to more of a commentary style. Getting older, the young man found himself becoming influenced by YouTubers discussing
Yo, this arc, this character arc sounds dangerously parallel to somebody else.
social issues, religion, and philosophy
I can't think of who it is though, you know what I'm saying?
through a comedic lens. Creators like The Amazing Atheist. Taking inspiration from The Atheist and others, Amos Yee would go on to create various social commentary satire pieces, many of which proved to be quite controversial, especially within his home country of Singapore.
Lee Kuan Yew, contrary to popular belief, was a horrible person and an awful leader to our country.
From scathing criticisms
Okay, look, I'm gonna draw it for you. Now, I'm not saying however this ends, that's not what I'm saying, because I don't know how it ends. But I do know content creator, marvelous art, get noticed for the art, you know what I'm saying? Boom, we love it. Then switches to denouncing listen, y'all know, the ones who, y'all know. All
of
right?
Singapore
Y'all
banning
know.
gay marriage to just lambasting the entire concept of the Chinese New Year, he made some pretty controversial takes that pissed off a lot of people in the country. Pretty much any sort of conservative belief held by Singaporean people, Amos Yee went against it, and he ruffled a lot of feathers doing so. One of the most notable ruffling of feathers caused by Amos relates to the death of a Singaporean leader. On March 13th of 2015, Singapore Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew passed away from pneumonia at the age of 91. Amos, not being a fan of the Prime Minister, made a video essentially pissing on his grave. Shortly after the man's passing, he uploaded a video titled "Lee Kuan Yew is Finally Dead," in which he chastises the recently deceased leader for his apparent myriad of failures, calling him a terrible leader and compares him to Jesus Christ. Quote, "They're both power-hungry and malicious, but deceive..."
Listen, if you're watching this at home, y'all heard it here first.
Others into thinking they are both compassionate and kind.
Why hasn't anyone said, fuck yeah, the guy is dead? Lee Kuan Yew was a horrible person. Because everyone is scared. Everyone is afraid that if they say something like that, they might get into trouble, which, give Lee Kuan Yew credit, that was
You should be able to say the things you want to say with no I should be able to say it. Look, hey man.
primarily the impact of his legacy.
Amos's video naturally outraged a large majority of Singaporean citizens, and he would end up getting in trouble with the government because of it. Due to Singapore having absolute dog shit freedom of speech laws, Amos's video was deemed in violation of Singapore's Sedition Act of 1948, a law that bans free speech going against whatever their government deems is the established order. with the deceased Lee Kuan Yew being
Yo, Singapore is OP. I heard you can't even chew gum. Like spitting gum on the road is illegal in Singapore. I heard it's like one of the cleanest, like, well, I don't know. That's what I heard. There's parts of Singapore that's like that. Maybe not all of it, but
a popular leader within the country, thousands of citizens would report Amos's video to the feds. And to make matters worse for himself, Amos, seeing the backlash, decided to double down on the Lee Kuan Yew disrespect and created lewd artwork showing the deceased prime minister having sexual intercourse with former British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher. People would report this to authorities as well, which ultimately led to Amos Yee getting arrested and charged with, quote, deliberate intention of wounding the religious or racial feelings of any person, threatening abusive or insulting communication, and making obscene posts. How about those charges, huh?
Singapore
Jesus
is very
Christ.
conservative.
People in Singapore were so upset with Amos Yee's video that he was actually slapped in the face on the way to the courthouse. On May 12th of 2015, Amos Yee was found guilty on all counts and he was ultimately compelled to spend 4 weeks in jail as a result of the debacle. But jail time would do little in regard to dissuading Amos Yee from posting controversial content to his YouTube channel, as almost immediately after getting out of jail, he resumed his free speech advocacy video making crusade, and the creation of these videos would eventually
hearing him argue and hearing his voice, I would have never guessed this would he look like.
result in Amos being sent to jail again about a year later, in a similar scenario involving the young man making statements that the government didn't approve of. After being arrested multiple times, one thing became clear, that being his occupation as a YouTube rabble-rouser was untenable, at least while he was in the country of Singapore. Refusing to give up his video-making hobby, but not wanting to get jail time, Amos Yee comes up with a brilliant idea. That idea being move to the
America.
United States.
Hey!
Doing so under the premise of political asylum. In December of 2016, Amos Yee got on a plane and headed to Chicago's O'Hare Airport.
Chicago? Hey, big fella. Yo, I don't know how you looked through the archive and said, yo, what city in America, dog? Chicago. That's where I'm going.
But unfortunately, this political asylum immigration process proved to be a little bit more complicated and cumbersome than he had expected. Amos Yee was almost immediately detained after landing by immigration authorities, and he was placed in an immigration detention center until his asylum request could be officially processed. A process that took 9 months, partly due to the fact that Amos had a checkered legal history back home. Ironically, he spent more time in the immigration detention center than he ever spent in jail back in Singapore. Eventually, his political asylum request was granted, and in September of 2017, he would be a free man once again. So how does Amos Yee celebrate his new life as an American? Well, by posting a series of videos defending pedophiles.
I told y'all! Hey, yo, son, this world is crazy, all right? This world is crazy. Bro, I was listening to him talk. I'm like, yo, this man is wilding. That's why it's good to listen to other people argue, because now you're not like part of the argument trying to defend a point, and you could listen to both points. And this man was talking, and I was like, he is wilding.
These commentary videos were titled Why Pedophilia is Alright and Don't Discriminate Pedophiles. In these videos, Amos Yee shares his belief that children and adults should be allowed to have romantic and sexual relationships with each other without judgment.
Most people would make the absolute broad generalization that any kid that is below the age of 12 are not able to consent to sex. But then one day, a 42-year-old adult comes along and says that while he was 10 years old, he had a perfectly consensual sexual relationship with a...
If you sit down and listen to him just talk, I ain't listened to that. I heard him argue with somebody.
A 30-year-old adult. 10-year-old him was not traumatized afterwards. The relationship was perfectly fine and consensual, and both of them enjoyed the sexual relationship. So do you think that that kind of relationship should not happen? That just because the child was below 18, that relationship that was perfectly harmless should be considered child rape? No! That's absolutely ridiculous.
Now, let's visit back to the parallel I drew earlier. All right, and actually, let's not. We're just gonna watch it play out. Somebody's gonna find this video. Never mind.
He also
I would never wish that on somebody. You know what I'm saying?
seems to suggest that age of consent should be abolished and that CP should be legal.
The reason why I'm speaking up against the legalization of child pornography is because I think that it is a fascist law that violates human rights.
My man left Singapore to get some freedom of speech and then said, you know what? This isn't enough. I'm just going to fight even more. All right. I left one government to come destroy what another government believes in. Big fella, go find an island and live there if you want to do. Well, look, you shouldn't be doing these things, but if you're on an island by yourself, you can't really do nothing, okay?
And it needs to be abolished.
Now, I think it goes without saying
Man
his
is
staunch
wild.
defense for pedos shocked not only his detractors, but even his most die-hard fans that had stuck around over the years. I mean, with videos like these, it's like red flags everywhere.
Now, why is this hitting 53K in 1 week, 21K in 4 days? Who is watching this vid?
These pedo defense videos were met with immense backlash, which in turn prompted Amos to triple down, releasing a video titled Free Speech for the Pedophile. In this video, he would shame detractors for not engaging in his arguments and also express that he was appalled at how pedophiles were.
Listen, Susan, let me have a talk with you real quick, all right? You know what I'm saying? I hope you're doing good. I don't know what time of day you eating this. You're watching this, but I hope you had a nice meal. You feel rejuvenated, all of that types of things, okay? Now, I watched a video of a man that was in McDonald's that pulled out an axe and hit a table, all right? And I received a strike, okay? Now, do I see a problem with receiving that strike? Of course not. It was against the terms and conditions and policies of YouTube, okay? 100% agree, for sure. I'm OC, on the other hand, okay? What is this? That's all I'm saying.
Were treated as outcasts in society.
I know many of you completely disagree with my views on pedophilia, and it is a very emotionally charged topic. But if you truly value freedom of speech and freedom of expression, you have to speak up for my rights to continue sharing these opinions, and you have to condemn the people who are trying to censor me.
It goes without
Chat. Hey, man. Did you hear what he just said? Just take notes, man. Just take notes. You know, you never got to fight against people in life, okay? You don't got to argue with them. You don't got to do none of that. Just take notes. Pay attention to what arc they're on. Nod your head. Keep it moving.
saying that videos with titles and takes like this would get a bit of a buzz on Reddit and Twitter, and dislikes flooded in. Amos Yee would quickly find himself becoming a pariah amongst Western YouTube fans and content creators. But despite the hate, he stuck to his guns, defending CP and pedos to the ends of the earth, taking any opportunity given to express his ideology and beliefs.
But compare that to sex.
I told y'all, man. Listen. I found Destiny after the JonTron debate. You know what I'm saying? This is what really started my YouTube career, not this debate. Of course not. Shout out to, well, I can't say shout out to him because that man got allegations on his name too. But there was a YouTuber named Jeffrey Almonte, made banger vids, made a video about Destiny. Like when y'all, look, when the HollaSquad gets to where it's going, this is going to be a trivia question. All right? Now, I'm giving y'all information that I ain't gave nobody else, okay? I watched the video, Jeffrey Almonte, breaking down Destiny's arguments against JonTron. I'm like, yo, who's Destiny, bruh? I watched this video. I said, yo, okay, he knows how to build an argument. Do I agree with him all the time? Of course not. But, you know what I'm saying, fleshing out arguments to their depths. I was like, okay, now I started watching Destiny. You know what I'm saying? And then that's what really, like, prompted me to say, I could give my opinion on the internet, right? Because a lot of times I thought people wouldn't understand my opinion because I didn't know how to explain it. But once I realized I knew how to explain it more than way other people didn't, you know what I'm saying? Now we have Big Holla. Music reactions after that. Yo, this song is good. This bar was fire. You know what I'm saying? All the way till now. You know what I'm saying? The podcast and everything. Listen, the Big Holla origin story, man.
Is because one act is harmful to them, like, while the other isn't. And sexual acts is not at all harmful to them. It actually benefits them greatly. So,
well, the benefits them greatly is something that we would have to look over in terms of like psychological research. I don't think that's true. We would have to go somewhere.
That is perfectly true. So.
Amos's pedo advocacy would eventually result in his social media accounts being mass reported, and he would soon find his Facebook, Twitter, and most importantly, YouTube account banned. The man's videos had also been sent to real-world authorities, and according to reports, this resulted in Amos being kicked out of a friend's place he was staying at after Child Protective Services became concerned.
You couldn't even afford your own spot, all right? And you out here talking, people got more, it sounded like you had your priorities not in order. I should be able to say what I want to say. But you didn't pay your rent, big fella. You're not, like, what are you doing?
Concerned about the man living there, as the friend had foster children in the home. But with all of this going on, it is important.
He was saying this with yo, get him out of here.
Important to remember that there were actually a small group of people supporting Amos and his ideology regarding pedos. They weren't happy that Amos had been banned from his social media accounts and felt that what he was doing was simply an extreme exercise of free speech and playing some like super far off devil advocate case for pedos and CP advocation. You know, suggesting that the guy wasn't actually doing anything wrong. Well, all of that goes out the window when we soon find that Amos Yee was actually committing crimes related to CP. In October of 2020, Amos Yee was busted by a group of amateur pedo hunters for allegedly sending and receiving illicit images with a 14-year-old girl on.
See, this is why when people are so advocating for like the normalization of something that basically everybody agrees is like, yo, this might not be what's best. Whenever people do that, there's a reason, okay? There's got to be a reason. That's all I'm gonna say.
On WhatsApp. The girl had reportedly been victim to Amos's illegal requests over a period of months, and it was only after he became aggressive with her did she reveal the messages to the pedo hunters, who then got law enforcement involved. Amos Yee would later be arrested on charges of solicitation and possession of CP. Initially, the man would plead not guilty, claiming that the allegations were all lies, but he would later enter a guilty plea as a part of a plea deal in an effort to get a lighter sentence. In December of 2021, Amos Yee was sentenced to serve 6 years in prison, and it's likely that whenever—
There's some people who just think they smarter than the whole world, bruh. You're not. You like—
he's released, he'll be deported back to Singapore to face the wrath of that government once again. From anti-government pro-free speech advocate to CP possessor, that was the Amos Yee story. In the live streaming world, one needs a gimmick to stand out and get viewers. One streamer would take it too far. Needs a gimmick to—
what?
In the live streaming world, one needs a gimmick to stand—
It's not true, chat. Do not become a gimmick, because you will be a gimmick for the rest of your life. Take your time, build your audience. I remember we was in here with 2 people 2.5 years ago, all right? Now we average, you know what I'm saying, somewhere around 50 of them. Take your time. You do not need a gimmick, okay?
Stand out and get viewers. One streamer would take it too far when the gimmick essentially becomes abusing his girlfriend, abuse that eventually leads to a death and a prison sentence. This is the story of Reflay. Stanislav Reshetnikov, aka Reflay, was once a trash vlogger. And I don't mean that as an insult, there's literally a video genre called trash vlogging. Trash vlogging is a style of vlogging in which viewers pay to have someone on stream abused for their own amusement. It's a genre that's popular in Russia, and while the actions committed in these streams
that's
are
crazy.
often illegal, streamers are very rarely prosecuted. The videos are violent and often target women. Now, where does Reflay fit into this picture?
I feel like I heard
would
about
use his 28-year-old girlfriend, Valya, as the victim in his streams. Disgusting chatters that visited would donate and encourage him to do vile things to his girlfriend, and as a
You
result,
said Holla going to jail, to prison next if you fail to this fizz check. Hit us with your opener real quick. Oh, Riz check. My Riz check is like this. I'll be like, damn. I don't use Riz, bruh. Nah, the opening Riz. Nah, I don't use no lines when I talk to it. I just talk to them like they normal. You don't need Riz. You just need to talk. Be a normal person, okay? And they're gonna be okay. Like, listen, there's girls out there for you. I promise.
He would verbally and physically abuse the woman. According to reports, he would shove her around, call her a prostitute, smelly, even going as far as pepper spraying the woman at a viewer's request. And unfortunately, this dangerous style of streaming would prove to be
Always
lethal
Riz
for
Daddy, always
Reflay's
hip-hop.
girlfriend. During one stream, a viewer would donate $1,000, ordering Reflay to force his girlfriend out on the building balcony and
like I
lock
heard
her
about
outside in freezing weather. Keep in mind that it only takes about 30 minutes for hypothermia symptoms to show in such conditions. Reflay would oblige with the request and locks his girlfriend outside. Throughout the stream, the woman can be heard screaming and begging for him to let her inside, which only results in Reflay filming her struggle through the glass door and mocking her as she attempts to get inside. But eventually, she stops banging on the door and making any attempt to get back in. Realizing what likely just happened, while the stream is still rolling, he then opens the door and drags in his girlfriend's now lifeless body.
She died on stream?
She
Now
had
we're watching Corey next.
died. In apparent disbelief, Reflay can
I did hear about this.
be heard saying, "Valya, are you alive? Valya, are you alive?" The man would continue streaming and interacting with chat for some time until eventually calling for medical help. When paramedics arrived, it didn't take long for them to pronounce Valya dead. While it was assumed that hypothermia was the cause of death, autopsy reports would indicate that the woman had craniocerebral trauma. It was later revealed that Reflay had actually beat his girlfriend prior to putting her outside. The combination of these two factors is what resulted in the death.
Listen, ladies, men, anybody, listen. No relationship is worth this. And if they need to use this to get money, it's even worse, right? The first time somebody say, let me clank you over the head, seriously, for some money, you're done. The only type of smashing we're doing for never mind, we ain't listen.
After authorities got a grasp on what had happened, Stanislav Reshetnikov, aka Reflay, was now facing serious charges and was implicated in causing the death of the woman. In April of 2021, Stanislav would eventually be convicted of intentional infliction of grievous bodily harm dangerous to human life committed with the use of an object as a deadly weapon, resulting in the death of the victim by negligence. As a result of this conviction, the man received an insultingly light 6 years in prison. In light of this outrageously soft sentence, a Russian senator would actually speak out and advocate for more punishment to be placed on trash vloggers like Stanislav. Quote, "This is becoming more and more widespread, so it's necessary to legislatively respond to this form of activity. Naturally, if we are talking about direct participation or complicity in murder, then the imprisonment term may be longer. And what could be described as a dark web snuff video resulting in measly prison time, that was the story of Reflay."
Leigh Felton. Never heard of her.
Many
hey, look,
of
I'm
you
like 2
may
for
be
5
aware
on
of
this
a
video.
sort of
I heard of
long-standing
some of them.
loophole in the YouTube rules that allows nudity to be shown on the site.
If you're
For
paying,
example, if the nudity is used in an educational purpose, it's permitted, such as like a woman showing other women how to perform a breast exam on themselves. Another example of this could be a video where a woman is showing other women how to breastfeed. But one woman takes this loophole way too far and gets criminal.
I heard to this. Yo.
Charges from it. This is Lee Felton. She was once a piano teacher based out of Tallahassee, Florida. The woman taught under the business name Miss Lee's Piano Studio, where she would instruct kids and young adults in the area, teaching them how to play. Despite having her own business, Lee was financially struggling. After being left by her one-year-old child's father, Miss Lee found herself a single mother. This abandonment, compounded with the financial struggles she experienced, caused the woman to sink into a deep depression, her self-esteem essentially hitting rock bottom. So, in a completely unhealthy and disgusting way of addressing both the issues of financial problems and self-esteem, she starts creating breastfeeding videos on YouTube. Initially styled as how-to instructional content, the videos featured Lee breastfeeding her one-year-old child. But what we find is things quickly get depraved and meander away from instructional to suggestive and sexually charged. Lee quickly recognized that her core audience wasn't actually women trying to learn how to breastfeed, it was perverted men commenting on her appearance, talking about how much they enjoyed the videos. And after seeing this,
why are y'all looking at breastfeeding videos on YouTube when they got P-Hub? There are better websites y'all could be spending your time on, all right? Bro, listen. There's no reason, bro. There's no reason. If you can't get you no Doonies in real life, there's the internet. There's websites for authenticated content, okay? Now, you may not be able to get the premium 4K HD, you know what I'm saying, $9.99 a month. No, I'm joking. I'm trolling. I swear to God, I'm trolling. But, you listen, there's something. Twitter, okay? You can do something, man. This is. Get you Netflix. Netflix got some movies that got mad sex scenes in it, all right? Much better things.
It's instead of stop uploading the videos or ban these users from viewing her YouTube channel, what she does is essentially play into
you gotta
these
rewatch
nasty,
this video, man.
disgusting perverts. Lee allegedly sold unlisted videos to inquiring viewers and very purposefully dialed up the sexual nature of the breastfeeding content. Lee reportedly made breastfeeding videos where she rubbed herself and her child down in oil.
Ain't that's low key like child, you know what I'm saying? Right? Gotta be.
Shoved her breasts in the baby's face. Lee would give her videos titles akin to something you might find on an adult website. Titles such as Slip and Slide and Mommy's a Whore. Jesus fucking Christ. This vomit-inducing situation would continue unchecked for some time, but eventually somebody would report Lee. According to reports, a Wisconsin man was apparently busted purchasing Lee's content by his wife, and after discovering the repulsive videos, the wife reportedly felt into authorities. In October of 2016,
at some point that's got to be again. Okay, listen, we're not advocating for this in any way. She's wrong. Get her out of here. Okay, so I'm not even gonna make the joke I was about to say, but that's got to be against girl code somewhere, you know what I'm saying?
Lee Felton would be arrested and charged with promoting sexual performance by a child, lewd and lascivious behavior, cruelty towards a child, and molestation. During her trial, she would describe her videos as a, quote, silly little playful thing, and that she doesn't believe it's criminal. She explained that the motivation behind making the videos was mental health struggles.
You need memes
Quote,
after this?
Finally, I was getting attention and felt like I had some worth, adding, I'm not a monster. Lee Felton's defense attempted to argue that her breastfeeding videos fell under free speech protection, but nobody was buying this defense. A Tallahassee sheriff's lieutenant puts it best. Quote, the video was clearly not done for the purpose of education or artistic display. Based on the content and the fact that it's being sold by Felton, it is clear this video is for sexual purposes.
True.
Lee would eventually be found guilty on one count of lewd and lascivious exhibition. She was sentenced to serve 10 years in federal prison along with a 5-year probation, and she was added to the sex offender registry. She would later address the judge over the case, claiming that her time in jail was, quote, humbling, and that she had, quote, a moral compass now. Well, you made it.
Yo, listen. Everybody in this video, sick of work. Nasty work. Get them out of here. Pack them up. You know what I'm saying? Some people will never see the light of day. You know, the lobby will be the first time they step out of prison, okay? I'm gonna see that boy is done, okay? I read the name, like, cause it's like one of them names that kind of like sticks with you. Like you hear it and you're like, I only know one person by that name, right? That one stuck. The last two, I heard of the dude who locked his girl outside. I feel like I watched that in another video, or maybe it was like this one I feel like I watched in like a stream or something where people were arguing about whether she should have went to jail or something like that. Bro, it's sick people out here, man. Sick people.